I want to address the integrity issues burning at the heart of this dodgy, rotten government. From the Premier admitting he misled the House to now to the influence of lobbyists. Lobbyists, again, in the halls of power of this government, where there is more than just a sniff about them not being appropriately registered. The fact that the Premier fails to take action until he gets asked questions by the media. If you needed more evidence that this government has walked away from integrity, you need to look no further than how cosy Labor is with lobbyists. And after days of scrutiny, the stage-managed resignation of Kate Jones, is she a lobbyist? Isn't she a lobbyist? Well, she's a special consultant working for a lobbyist, is just more evidence that this government has learned nothing and how close they are to Labor lobbyists. This is Enacta 2.0, and Queenslanders haven't forgotten Enacta, who were the Labor lobbyists who ran the 2020 campaign for Labor, not at Labor Party headquarters, but ensconced in the Executive Building 1 William Street. This government is addicted to Labor lobbying firms, and how close this Labor government is to Labor-aligned lobbying firms we saw from Kate Jones' text to Premier Stephen Miles this morning, which only proves it, that they've learned nothing. And it's too little too late, the reaction of the Premier, where minutes before question time, former Labor Cabinet Minister Kate Jones apparently texted Premier Stephen Miles saying she was resigning from her work for a firm which was undertaking lobbying in Queensland, but only after the media had revealed her links and meetings with this government as a special consultant through the lobbying firm Aikens. The lobbying firm Aikens was registered in Queensland days before Anastasia Palaszczuk was removed as Premier. Now, Kate Jones is credited in helping force Premier Palaszczuk's resignation and bringing about the elevation of her mate, the member from Warumba, Stephen Miles, to the role of Premier with her factional support. This firm's only registered lobbyist is a former ministerial staffer of Kate Jones. However, Kate Jones was not registered as a lobbyist despite recent scandals of unregistered lobbying and Labor mates being paid for their influence and access to the halls of power. So when Kate Jones texted the Leader of the Opposition shortly before question time to advise she was resigning from this company, and then she texted the Premier to advise him that she'd advised the Leader of the Opposition of this, the integrity smell over this government didn't go away. Now, the Premier's assertion up until this point was, well, what's everyone worried about? Kate Jones is just a mate. We've known each other for years. Nothing to see here.
We've been doing deals for years.
Well, the whole thing is these Labor lobbyists, they are mates. They have known each other for years and they've learned nothing. And the scandal over Labor's Enacta running Labor's campaign still hadn't registered to Premier Stephen Miles, nor the strong words in Coldrake's report about people lobbying as third parties. I remind the Premier that Coldrake in his report, Let the Sun Shine In, recommended all professionals offering paid lobbying services to third parties be registered. The Premier still has serious questions to answer. I have asked the Integrity Commissioner to investigate how deep these lobbying relationships go within this government. The Coldrake review exposed the dodgy, rotten behaviour of this government, and it's clear nothing's changed under Premier Stephen Miles. Labor has given up on governing for people. They're more interested in governing for themselves. They are choosing their own political interests over the interests of Queenslanders. And the chaos and crisis under Labor continues under the Miles government. They've learned nothing. They care not for the ordinary people because it's more about keeping in power than serving them and addressing the health crises, the cost of living crises, the crime crises, the housing crises that this government's been at the heart of.
The House will come to order.